Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Saltcast. We are back. This episode, we're going to be talking about A Quiet Place. We've all seen that over the last weekend. So we're going to give our thoughts and a little bit of a review of that movie. Got a couple news things that I'm sure we're going to talk about here in the beginning. But let's get going.
Yeah, welcome back, Alex.
Yeah, I'm back finally.
Finally.
All right, so let's start with the news. Who wants to go first?
Bert's got it.
I have nothing, as always.
Okay. Some things never change.
Your turn then.
Yep.
I don't have anything. I just got back.
Okay. I guess I have some things. There was like the Nintendo thing. They announced a new Mario Party that looked alright. A bunch of remakes.
The Nintendo Direct.
Yeah. And really, I don't play much Nintendo stuff, so there wasn't anything that I really cared about. Like, Mario Party is like the only thing, and I don't even care that much. It's just like, oh, Mario Party's kind of cool.
It's just a fun party game.
It is in the name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to like Mario Party in the old days.
Yeah, 1 to like 7 or 8. Whichever one is the carnival one. That's the last good one. That might be 9, actually. 1 to that one.
I don't even remember which ones are
Those
which.
are good. And then it gets bad where you have like the car and then like Super Mario Party or Super Mario Party Superstars or something. That one's not great either.
I don't think I even played that one ever.
It's okay.
Did you guys see that Discord's going to PlayStation finally?
Yeah, I believe as of now they're already on there.
Yeah, I think so. That's pretty cool.
I didn't know that.
That is cool.
Discord is the peak way of communication for gaming.
Especially because a lot of games nowadays are cross-platform.
Yeah.
So it's like, give them a way to talk to each other across platforms.
Yeah, well, it just didn't used to be that way because I guess the reason it wasn't like on PlayStation was because they were usually the ones who didn't want cross-platform. And they still kind of don't for most games.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like some exceptions, like
stupid PlayStation.
I think Helldivers is, or Fortnite, Minecraft. There's more. It's only like the really big ones though that are also for PlayStation.
Mm-hmm. Things that aren't exclusive or locked down already.
What? Of course an exclusive wouldn't be cross-platform. What do you mean?
Well, I'm like in the sense that like Helldivers 2 won't go to Xbox, but it's on PC.
But it's just foolish.
I see what you mean, I guess.
Like,
what?
don't worry about it. Never mind.
Okay. Next thing. Have you guys seen the new Halo news?
No.
Do share.
So first things first, because I don't think we've talked about it on here before. There are large talks of the original Halo trilogy being remade, starting with Halo CE and Unreal. Now, this could be pretty cool. I think we actually did talk about this, me and Bert, but you weren't here.
Okay.
That could be cool. But then, recently, there have been, like, people have, like, come out and said stuff from, like, original Bungie saying, like, they were, like, trying to apply to work at 343 because they're like, oh, original trilogy, that's awesome. And they basically were told we don't hire Bungie people.
Really?
And
that seems kind of stupid.
And
It does.
so back like last year or maybe a year and a half ago, Joseph Staten, the peak Halo guy, he wrote all of Halo 2 and ODST and was one of the original like founders, one of the 2 original founders of Bungie with Marcus Leto.
Pretty much.
Both of them. Well, Joseph Staten was at 343 and Marcus Leto wanted to like get on the the project of a CE remake since they, founded Halo. And when 343 basically cleared their entire house, they got rid of Joseph Staten.
Oh wow.
That's sad. Doesn't really make sense though.
So basically, they're remaking Halo CE, but they don't want anyone who worked on Halo CE working on it. Probably.
Seems tarnishes the original premise.
Yeah, it seems
or the original
counterproductive.
creatives.
Right? Especially because I think CE has the best potential to be better than the original because there's so much supplemental content that can be worked into it.
Yeah.
But instead it'll probably at best be the same game but new, which would be cool still, but I honestly expect it to be subpar in some way.
Yeah, the trend suggests that they'll mess it up somehow.
It is a shame. There was also one of their I can't remember if it was an art person or something, but someone at 343 this was a big deal for some reason. But someone at 343 did some tweet or something or whatever they're called these days, the tweets, where they're it was something imagine working on a game that glorifies guns. I could never. Halo's guns are sci-fi, so they don't count, but I hate violence in games and I'm trying to get rid of it or something like that. And everyone's like, yo, why are you even working on an FPS?
Yeah, what? It's I hate guns and I hate destruction.
Hate what you want, but why work on one if you hate it?
So you can change it from within and destroy it and get rid of it so people don't want it.
I guess. But that was a wild thing to say.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is kind of scary when the guy that's developing the game is like, yeah, I don't like violence.
I don't like guns. Especially because Halo's sci-fi weapons, at least the human ones, aren't even that sci-fi. They're pretty normal-ish weapons.
They're realistic.
Very normal.
Yeah. I get it for the Covenant ones, sure, but the human weapons are pretty standard stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing there's no energy weapons on the human side.
Very strange. But hey, Halo could pop off because I really think that a trilogy remake, if good, would finally be the thing that could be Halo is popping again, but I don't think it'll be good.
It'd be Resident Evil.
Yeah, if it was like that, but I doubt it.
We can hope.
We can hope. We will just be disappointed.
Yeah.
That's all.
I don't expect much.
Tough.
Yeah. All right, what else?
Yesterday was the 10-year anniversary of MCC.
Oh, wow. That's crazy that it's been that long.
And for only 7 of them, it didn't work. Well, 6.5. So pretty good.
So imagine for half the game's lifetime, over 10 years, it doesn't even work.
I feel like that game, for some reason, slid under the mainstream radar because that was worse than Cyberpunk as far as it working. That is got to be the worst video game launch of all time. And the Halo people got mad, but I feel like mainstream, it kind of just slid under and no one said anything.
I think in general, Halo tends to slip under the radar compared to a lot of other games.
Yeah, I guess, but
it doesn't hold the community's attention. At least the grand internet.
Maybe if it worked.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't.
If it actually worked, man, it had more than 2 game modes at launch, maybe people would play it for more than a week.
Yeah, it's true.
Of course people are going to drop off Halo Infinite when you have 3 game modes and you can't even pick which one you want. And there's 4 maps in the game at launch. And they suck.
That's rough, buddy.
Moving on, let's get to the movie.
Yeah, so we saw A Quiet Place day 1. What are your guys' initial thoughts. What did you guys think?
Going into it, I was pretty excited to see a bit more of like the world before the aliens came.
Yeah, okay, that's
'Cause I
a good
always
point
thought-
actually, because me and you've seen both the other two, right?
Yes.
Okay, so me and you have both seen the other two movies. Sebastian, you haven't seen any of them, so you have like a completely fresh perspective on like the franchise
Yeah.
compared to me and Bert. Anyway, Bert, continue your thought.
So because we only really ever saw like the beginnings of it from the family's perspective, and they were in like the country, and I was thinking like it'd be kind of cool to see what happens in a city with the absolute chaos, because there's a lot of noise in cities, and there's a like, I don't know, I thought it would be a cool idea to see. So I was
Yeah.
going into it kind of excited.
Yeah, I was
And-
excited about that aspect of it too, because you get to play around with a lot of different things now that you're in a big city versus like in the middle of the woods.
And without getting into specifics, some of the stuff they did with the city was kind of cool. Like as the environment itself.
Oh yeah, I
But-
think so. There was a lot of really cool moments. Like they and like the way that you can the monsters that are like where the places that they can come from, like they're jumping across buildings, climbing down skyscrapers. You
Jumping,
go-
like bursting through windows. Like
Yeah.
they're coming out of everywhere.
yeah, you're going in and out of buildings, you're going into the subways, you're going through construction sites. Like there's a lot of cool environments that the other two movies didn't have as much of.
They definitely took advantage of their setting,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I don't really know.
Sebastian, what were your initial thoughts?
I hated this movie.
Really?
Yeah. It was like, I don't know. To me, like 80% of like the people just seemed so stupid. Actually, all of them. I take it back. Everyone was stupid except for one person.
Who wasn't stupid?
The guy that originally saved the main character and then was on the boat at the end.
Oh, he
Oh,
was only in the
the dude
movie for
from-
like 4 scenes.
Yeah.
Isn't he in the Marvel movies?
Yeah, he is. He's in everything.
I mean, like it I don't think it's terrible. I just think that I don't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there was more like moments where you kind of have to stop like thinking about it too hard than I would like to admit, at least compared to the other two.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really get bothered by really much as far as like people making decisions. Like, seemed like pretty mostly believable to me. Like, I feel like that's how a lot of people would act in that situation.
Yeah.
Like, basically, the main premise is the monsters react to sound. Like, that's just don't make noise and they can't see you or find you. They go based off of sound. And then in the city, there's just so much stuff going on. Like, I don't know. And I feel like the rules of the world are pretty, like, well explained. So, I mean, in that sense, everything
I mean,
that
kind of.
happened.
They're explained, but then the characters ignore them. One of them, it's
Well-
reasonable because they didn't even want to survive, so that one's fine. But other people, doesn't make sense.
Well, let's go through some examples and see.
Well, should we walk through the movie?
Go for it.
Yeah, we'll kind of go through a little bit of it, but
Just
I think
we'll just get us
mostly
into
we're just
the
gonna
city.
jump around, yeah. But yeah, it's
Pretty-
The Quiet Place Day 1, so it's literally in the title. Like, it's the first couple days of the whole like end of the world,
Invasion.
basically. Yeah, the invasion or whatever you want to call it of the.
Invasion.
I don't even know. Do they ever give the monsters a name? The aliens?
No.
I can't remember.
think
I
of
thought it would have been cool to like I don't like because I didn't know anything really. I didn't even watch the trailer when I saw it, but after the title came up and it was like day 1, I was like, oh, okay, so this is gonna be like no one knows what's going on or whatever. But I felt like the people like instantly learned the rules without us seeing them learning the rules.
How? Like, how so?
Like, I feel like we pretty much skipped the day one. Like, we saw like 10 minutes of it or less. Then the character gets knocked out, and then she wakes up, and then everyone's like, we already know the rules.
Yeah, one thing I will say that was kind of lucky was that in the opening, when her character's bus gets like shooken up, and she's stumbling around the streets, that entire time she doesn't make a single noise or call for help.
Well, she's like in shock. She's just kind of like roaming through. Like when you're in shock, you kind of just
calling for her cat.
I mean, who calls for a cat?
Who calls? I mean,
you could call for a cat. That's a normal thing to do.
Like, here, kitty, kitty.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't. My first thought wouldn't have been of the cat.
I mean, mine wouldn't either.
Like,
but hers seems like
how much
it
she
would
cared
be.
about that cat.
She's concussed, probably, like almost certainly, and she's got like
You don't think she'd want her support?
She's got the
cat
flashbang
right
effect right now, where her hearing is all fucked.
now? Yeah, now's the best time to have the cat.
It just like
it's an emotion. It's a service cat, right?
I feel like maybe you felt like that too, Sebastian, because this is the third movie, so like for the audience, like they know the rules already, so it's like easier for them to kind of accept that. Okay, well, they figured this out. Blah blah blah. Like, let's get to the main points of the movie. I just think that would have been
cool to see people get bodied because they don't know, whereas like people know the whole movie. And they get bodied by accidents, not technically because they like don't know how things work.
Well, I feel like the people that didn't know died pretty quick.
I know, but this is called day one. That's what we should see.
Well, we saw one lady screaming for her husband, and she got sideswiped.
But that wasn't day one.
I mean, if you want to,
it was
okay. It's not day one; it's day two.
No, but you're not listening to me. What I'm saying, that was like day 4, day 3, maybe.
No, they only went through like 2 days, 3.
Well, anyways, what I'm saying is that, like, we missed the, like, initial part pretty much. Like, the only initial invasion we see is, like, the very beginning, and it's more focused on her face than what's happening. Like, I'd like to see, people still driving around normally, cars getting, like, attacked, like, no one knowing what's going on.
It'd be cool to see the military.
You definitely see that. There is an actual scene where one of them jumps on top of a car and rips it open. And there's one where they literally flip a car.
Yeah, but that's like a less than 2-3 minute scene. And like I just said, most of it is focused on her like reactions than what's even happening. And you don't even see the creatures at that point.
Yeah, well, I feel like your complaint is that the movie focuses too much on her versus the aliens.
Not necessarily. It's more just I wanted to see, like... Basically, I feel like there was only one scene in this movie that was, like, chaotic, seeming like a day one invasion. You didn't even let me finish my sentence before you said that's crazy.
Well, because that first part of your sentence was crazy.
Because how is... There's one scene where it's a big, like, invasion attack.
There's multiple scenes like that.
There's one.
There's the first scene where the aliens drop.
He's talking about like on the first day of the like when they're first like fresh out of the sky.
Yeah, there's the scene where they drop out of the sky.
Yeah, but
and then it transitions to the bus.
He wants more of that.
One, no, that one sucked. Like nothing is really shown. It's all dusty, and you see like barely anything. The good one is the later one. That's like halfway through the movie.
I disagree because in that first one, you don't see much of the alien because there's supposed to be like a build up and some suspense to the reveal of seeing them. Because in the Quiet Place movies, you don't see them much anyway. In the first one, you almost don't see them at all.
They're pretty built up.
Yeah, and so like
you only really see them at the very end.
Yeah, this one's definitely the time that you see them the most. The second one you do see them like a good amount too, I guess. But this one you see tons of them. Like, in the other ones, it's like a few. You know what I mean? And in the city, there's so many.
I mean, you do see a lot of them. That's not my problem, though. My problem is 99% of the time you see them, they're chasing 1 or 2 people. There is 1.5 scenes, if you want to be 100% accurate, where there's actual, like, chaos, invasion stuff happening.
I don't think so.
There literally is. There really isn't a lot of
group, like crowd chaos.
There's two.
There's like
There's
a couple
two,
scenes.
and
There's
one
like
of them I wouldn't even
3.
count. There's literally 2. The beginning one that you're talking
There's
about, and the walking
beginning one, yeah, the walking one, and then the ending one.
There's 2. There's
The
just
ending
the
one's
2 of
2
them.
people. Everyone else is safe.
Yeah.
And then, well, there's the scene with the fire and the bridges. There's chaos going on during that. There's people still out there and on the bridges and
But
stuff.
you're not-
And you can see the monsters jumping across at the buildings.
That is a huge stretch to say watching them bomb bridges from miles away counts.
That isn't the same. I kind of see what Sebastian's going for now.
Well, what about the ones where the helicopters are flying over and they're rampaging through the city? That happens.
That's just more of a suspenseful moment versus a chaotic.
I just want to see
action
people get
moment.
absolutely destroyed. That's why I liked that
You
one
want to see
walking.
people get ripped in
Like,
half.
even though it was
and-
illogical
it
to
definitely
me,
happened.
it did happen twice. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, I don't know. I don't agree, but
That makes no sense because there's literally 2 times it happens.
There could have been a couple scenes where people were chilling in their homes and like they just get killed.
They could have
You're
panned
watching
over
TV
Times
or
Square,
something.
people getting absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like that's what the purpose of the first scene was, but
Yeah, but the first scene wasn't even. It was
it
like a
was
close up
shown.
of her
They just
face, and
kind
it
of
was all
applied it.
dusty. You know, like
I don't know. I just think of the time where it flips over the car. There's one jumping on top of a car. There's people all over the place. The lady she's next to gets literally obliterated. Like
That's like-
gets
but
ripped away.
the problem
like,
though,
all that stuff.
I agree with
But
you.
you're
but the
talking
problem is
about
that
one
it's
scene.
all dusty, and you don't like. It's just people getting pulled into dust, which to me doesn't. That's not as impressive, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not as much as a spectacle. It's like when your favorite character dies off screen. It's like, well, that sucked.
Well, I wouldn't say that random lady number 3 was my favorite character.
I know, but you don't like it when that like you want to see them.
I
die.
will say though, the other one was actually good. That one rocked. That was probably my favorite part of the movie,
Which one?
where people were just getting
walking
absolutely
one?
destroyed. Even though I think it was a bit weird because that was like day 3. Although if you're that dumb, you would have died by now. That would have happened on the first day, something like that.
I think it's one of those small things that 99% of people wouldn't think about.
Yeah, but I think I agree with you. But I agree that would happen, but that would happen earlier. Those people would have died already. They wouldn't have survived this long for this to happen.
No, I don't think so. People would definitely like shelter in place and not be doing anything and survive.
Yeah, people
And
would
like,
just
do
be
you know how many
starving
people
themselves.
are in New
not
York? There's
moving.
millions of people. There's like 4 million people in New York, or 3 something. Like, there's gonna be huge groups of people that have survived.
I don't because off the
by sheer
rip it
odds.
happens, right? Basically,
Mm-hmm.
I would say 90% of anyone who isn't in their house is doomed. Like they're gone.
I don't think so.
Yes, I think so.
Yes, no, because literal people are gonna realize, and like they're gonna not just be screaming. Well, some of them are just gonna be screaming, but other people are gonna
People have
end up
pattern
just by
recognition.
accidentally just being quiet, yeah,
There,
and hiding.
People are
There's
gonna
gonna be
be
so
like-
many people that just hide.
I don't know. I feel like
Yeah, like if you sit under a table and don't make a single peep, you're gonna be okay.
I think
Most of us, I'm
well, yeah,
assuming, like you don't
some
get
people,
like killed
sure,
by someone
but
else.
I'm saying like most people, like if you're not home or like if you're on the street, you're dead because the odds of you just assuming, not to run or something instantly, most people are dying day 1.
Yeah, and most people do die day one.
Even if 2% of the people out of a million don't do that, there's still 20,000 people alive.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I agree with you. I never said there was a problem with the amount of people alive. I'm saying that by those 3rd, 4th day, the dumb people would be dead.
But I'm saying of that
I don't
20,000,
know.
I'm sure there's still like a huge percentage of them that are dumb but are lucky.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know about a huge percentage, but there would be some.
I would say at least about half.
I think so. A lot of people would survive off of dumb luck.
Well,
And sacrifice and like
sacrifice.
Yeah,
killing other people.
Yeah,
That would happen.
I don't know, but
Yeah,
I
I
feel
agree.
like you guys are assuming people just like that's not an easy thing to just figure out. Like most people would die before ever knowing how it works.
So then why are you so
why I said
critical of
less
the
than
people that do
2%.
die?
Because
Because now you're contradicting yourself.
Why don't you
Yeah, but now
listen?
because they have to be pros by day 3. They have to have all the rules figured out. They,
Yeah.
they
Can
have to
I
avoid
talk?
huge groups because we make too much noise
Can
when
I
we
talk?
walk.
And there's got to be some people that don't even hear the announcements of anything too. So like there's some people that definitely have no idea.
What about the straight up deaf people?
All right, I'm gonna talk now.
Yeah, those people too.
No.
The reason I complain about it is because the characters we're seeing do the stupid things are specifically told how it works.
The main character never does anything that's that stupid.
Well,
And then
like I said
the
earlier too,
sidekick
if you would
guy,
listen to me,
he-
I feel like no one's listening to me. The main character I don't have a problem with because her doing stupid stuff doesn't even matter to me because she doesn't even want to be alive. So even if she was doing stupid stuff, that makes sense.
See, this is where I disagree, where I don't understand your point, because you're talking about the main character doesn't do stupid things, but then you complain that the people that we're watching do stupid things. So it's like we watch 90% of that one main character and her like sidekick, and he doesn't do anything that's really that stupid. We actually see a lot of people doing smart things. Those 2 kids that hid in the fountain
Water
and are
fountain.
hiding under the water, like that was smart. There's like random people in the street that get killed, but it's like the people that die,
guy-
it's always in like crazy chaotic situations.
That guy murdering that one dude to make him stop screaming.
Well, that was cool actually.
Yeah.
I liked that part.
And then like the nurse who gets like murked right in the beginning by the generator, like he didn't do anything stupid. He just ripped his shirt
just
at
got
a
unlucky.
horrible time. Yeah.
Yeah, the power went off. The automatic generator turned on. He was like, "I gotta turn this bitch off."
Yeah. That one was, I liked that one. That one was cool because you knew it was coming. You're just like, how's it going to happen?
Yeah, and then like he turned it off, and they were all sitting still, like waiting for it to happen. And he was like, "I think I'm okay." And he turned to leave. Shirt
that's
ripped.
just kind of that's kind of wild that only one came.
Yeah. I
That
know,
I
right?
won't-
Like she
That is
dropped a
weird. I
book and
won't-
there was like
like, I won't
50,
push you
but
on
then a
that.
generator brought 1.
Yeah.
Well, maybe because
Well, I
the book
think-
echoed in like a huge empty courtyard, and then the generator was kind of tucked away in a building.
Yeah. And that was right after the fire of the bridges, the bombings and everything. So I'm sure there's a lot of chaos also in the rest of the city.
Yeah, maybe. Sometimes it's hard to tell how much time passed because like they spend a lot of time inside.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
Yeah.
hard to tell.
I think
if
it
it's
was
the
a
same
total
day.
of like 2.5 days is how I kind of thought of it, but I could be wrong.
Well, I thought like there was definitely at least 2 days that passed because they slept in that first church building, and then there was that, I think at least that time that she was like dying and he went to get medicine.
In her
That I think
apartment.
was another night. Oh, okay, so 3 then. Yeah, I forgot about the apartment. So it had to be at least 3 nights.
First church. They weren't in a church ever.
When they
They
crawled
were,
out of the
they
hole,
were in a church
and I
at
was
the
like,
end. Yeah,
what
at
was
the end.
what was the building they were first in then when she woke up?
Oh, the marionette building, like the,
Okay, yeah,
the
sorry,
show
that
place. Yeah.
So that building, the time he went to get medicine, that had
That
to
was
be
night
another
1.
night.
Yeah, I think it was
And
3
And then
days
they
then.
definitely did one in the place Bert said, her apartment.
Yeah, that's 3
It's
then.
night 3. 3 nights.
Possibly more though,
Yeah.
because at least for me, the beginning seemed a little confusing on time. I wasn't sure how long they were in that marionette building because it seemed like they had multiple like relaxing moments.
Maybe.
But at least
I
3,
don't
yeah,
know.
at least 3 and a
Yeah.
half. All I'm saying is, like, I could give you specific examples, but you just refuse to listen to me, so I'm not sure if there's a point.
Okay, give them.
Well, like, this is an example not relating to, like, her wanting to die, right? So she has these 2 kids. She's been told noise attracts people, and she sends these kids to their death. Like, she
I could easily see somebody doing that.
I would honestly probably do something like that. I'm like,
Yeah, I could see
Chinese
myself doing
kids?
that.
and I'm like, I'm underqualified. There's probably some other group of people that
But
would
like
be
to send them
taking
to a
children in.
sure
Plus, who would
death,
say no
just
to
tell
kids?
them stay away from this group and leave me alone. You know, like why send
See,
them
this
to a
is
sure
this
death?
is where I feel like you're nitpicking. This is where I feel like you're nitpicking because, like, okay, yeah, is it kind of dumb? Like, I guess, but like a ton of people would make that decision. So I don't know. Just because you
feel
wouldn't
like the
make that
average-
decision doesn't mean that it's not like a very possible thing. Like I could very easily see that something like that happening.
I feel like most people watching the movie like saw that scene and they're like, "That's something I would do."
Yeah, like in the
What?
beginning of that scene, I'm like, okay, this is kind of weird, but I guess yeah, maybe if they're like able to keep quiet, like yeah, okay, they can make it there. But then I was like, there's no way, there's too many of them. And then all hell breaks loose, and it's like, okay, yeah. But I could see people being like, okay, well, we got to walk this way, so like let's start walking. You know, like people are
And
dumb like
people
that. They'll just
happen
start
to all
following
walk
each other.
into the same, like we're all going to the same place.
Like I
We all
said, I
happen to
agree
follow the
with
same
that
path.
on day one when people don't know. Like, sure, maybe some of those people don't know still, but like
How do you want everybody to learn it
But I
in
feel
one
like
day though?
because
Like, that's
there was
not possible.
helicopters flying over the city telling everyone. That's the reason.
That's easily
said, "Don't make
missable by some
noise."
people though.
You know, what if you were asleep when they flew over, or you were just inside and you couldn't hear it?
Yeah, like they can't have helicopters
like-
flying the entire day.
They did it like
Especially because they
two
show the
or three
helicopters get
times
knocked-
they went over.
And then they showed down helicopters. So obviously that they have so many.
What do you mean?
They show that they were able to take out helicopters somehow.
Yeah,
What does that have to do with anything then?
So
because
well,
that
you're
means
flying
like,
them over the city constantly.
yeah, you probably couldn't keep doing that.
And you're
'Cause there's a
losing a
down-
helicopter every other time.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense. But I mean what I'm saying just is like, a lot of people know is all I'm saying. They make it. They specifically
Yeah, but I
show
feel
you
like
that
a lot of
people
it
know.
too is again, a lot of these people are just the average population.
yeah.
And they were told by the military to go to this place, this
Yeah,
one
like-
place. I
like,
feel like
think
most
about-
people are just going to take the most direct path there.
Yeah,
So,
And if
think-
everyone
so you
does
guys
that-
are telling me they heard the military say go to the beach, but they didn't hear them say that noise is bad.
Well, obviously they heard for it because they're walking there.
So then they heard
Quietly.
they heard the information not to make noise too.
Wasn't that broadcasted over the
It was
radio though?
it was both. It was the same thing. The helicopters did it too.
Still,
But I'm just saying, think about how many people didn't don't watch the news. Like so many, like during COVID, so many people don't watch news. We didn't figure out COVID in one day.
Yeah, but
Took multiple days.
But what I'm saying is that they are shown to know this knowledge. They are going to the place that the knowledge told them. If I said, don't
don't
make
know.
noise and go to the beach, you didn't just hear go to the beach.
I don't know, but we literally saw that helicopter fly over in that
and
exact
the people
moment.
weren't explicitly making noise. They were just making a bunch of
Exactly.
background noise.
Proving that they
Yeah.
heard the information, which means they should know not to be in a big ass group.
I don't. Again, I just
I
don't
don't
think
know.
they thought about the fact
Yeah.
that them being in a group walking together would
Yeah,
make
it
noise.
says don't make noise.
I think a
Doesn't say
lot of
don't-
people are
doesn't say
stupid.
how much noise not to make. It's just like
There's
don't
not a
make too much
decibel
noise.
counter they're walking around with. They go, all
Yeah,
right,
they're
guys,
like, all
don't
right, if
increase.
they just thinking if we don't talk, we're good.
Yeah, they just hear "don't make noise" and they're like, "I won't make noise," but they don't know like what's the standard of noise making.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a book falling. Sometimes it's a can. Sometimes it's a car alarm.
That's another thing.
Sometimes
The
it's your
amount
shirt
of
ripping.
noise is always different.
I think a lot of the times is what happens is a big noise will happen and then a small noise will happen, and the big noise is used to bring the creatures in.
So
Yeah.
And then the small noise is like, all
I
right,
can
we're gonna
agree
kill
with
this
that for
character.
most of them. I can agree with that for the
Like the
generator.
generator?
Yes, the only one that I think is like not excusable is at the end when she is literally hitting shit and running away from them.
The soda can?
and he
Yeah.
kicks a can. Like maybe one or two of them go after him, but they don't all just ignore her after that. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know, maybe, but don't they all kind of respond equally to noise?
I have no idea.
What? Do they what?
Like as a group, like they hunt as a pack. It almost seems like so. Wouldn't like if one heard noise, wouldn't they all turn around and go for it?
Well, not at the
Like, isn't that
generator.
just how they work. Maybe there just wasn't a lot in the area at the time.
Maybe
I think they do all would go for it though. They usually do.
Like they all just go for noise that they hear. It's
Yeah.
like Marco Polo.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's exactly
Marco
like that.
Polo. Maybe. Like I said, though, most of them I can understand your explanation. The only one to me that's crazy is that can thing. Also because, like, why would she stop making noise, you know, right?
Yeah. I would just start screaming. Like, use your fucking
just keep hitting shit.
lungs.
Like, why are you like, all right, that's enough, you know?
Because she was also trying to, like, make sure she survived long enough in case she needed to, like, keep hitting things. So she couldn't just constantly hit stuff and...
Plus, I
get
think she
caught.
kind of wanted to die on her own terms. And not in that moment.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like,
I don't think she had decided at that point that she was going to kill herself then and there.
well, not
Or
there,
at
but
least-
eventually. I think she
Yeah.
had decided at least.
Yeah, she'd decided that, yeah. That's why she stayed.
Like, all right, whatever. That's a wild, like, half decision to make, you know? Like, I'll distract them, but
Yeah, no,
only
I agree
kinda.
with you. It is very dumb. It's like probably the one out of character decision.
Especially because her cat was with him. You would think that she'd be like, I might not care about him, but I'll fucking die. For
No,
this."
she
care
cared
about my
about
cat.
him. But my thought is, like, you can't draw them all to you right away because then once they kill you, obviously it's going to be quiet.
That's true, but
And
like
then
once
he's
they're
making
once
all
they're
the
running
noise.
back after him, then start hitting again or something, like something, you know? Like she just like watched
Like monkey
after
in the
he
middle with the
accidentally kicked a
noise.
can.
Every time he makes a noise, smacks something.
Yeah, after he accidentally kicked a can, she's just like, well, guess I can no longer help.
I guess I can't make another noise.
I think it would have been cool. This might just be me. If they did something where it was like a deaf person or something main character, that would be pretty cool.
You should watch the other movies.
I don't know if I can. This one really upset me.
You should watch the other movies.
I don't know if I can.
I don't. You probably won't like it if you didn't like this one. If you're like,
I
gonna
don't
just
know, but I feel like the other
overanalyze
ones.
everything. Because
Well,
there's
the
so
other
much
ones, there's
that
less
can.
But I wasn't even
There is
trying to
less.
overanalyze. It's just like so obviously dumb sometimes.
I think Sebastian would like the other two. There's some smart decisions in that one, and even some prepping.
Yeah, there is.
And like I said, like my problem isn't even specifically people being dumb. My problem is when it is specifically shown that they shouldn't have made that decision and then make that decision.
I
don't
actually
know.
do think you'll like
the
first
only
one.
argument is the big group one, but I could see that happening.
I could see
I could too.
the part after like it's already started and people like screaming of fear. That part makes sense to me. I don't have a problem with that. But I just don't think like you would ignore
I just
half
don't-
of
I
the
just
information.
Really I just don't think people would think walking in a
I
crowd.
feel like we have
because I
so
think-
much- yeah.
Because what people normally can walk around, like individually, they're all okay walking around. So I think that they think that that's fine, but when they're collectively together, they make noise.
Yeah. I think about like we have so much evidence of people like not thinking. Like just look again, COVID. So much evidence saying like you should do this or you should do this or that or whatever, and people still didn't do it. So it's like they can even know the information and they might know it, but they just think, it can't really be that serious. Like there's definitely that part of it too.
Yeah, and those people died the first day. That's my
They
thought.
didn't all die the first day. All the people that got COVID didn't get it on the first
Yeah,
day.
but COVID doesn't kill you in an instant like an attacking monster.
My point is like they're not all gonna instantly die on the first day. That's not how that works.
Just like a zombie apocalypse. Some people
Yeah.
die the first day.
You're
some
telling me
people die
that
3
there
years
is a
in.
person that thinks making noise is not a big deal. I can do whatever I want, and they survive 2 days.
They're not gonna be like deliberately smacking cars and setting off bombs, but they're gonna be like walking around
They're
and
gonna
doing
they're gonna
stuff.
be thinking me rolling around in a wheelchair is gonna be okay, or pushing
Yeah.
a suitcase.
And then when they do it, they die. And they died.
I guess, but sure.
I don't know. I think you expect too much of people. Like
Yeah, I
people
think you
are
think
very
people
dumb.
are smarter than they actually are.
I don't.
Yeah.
I think you guys just think people are dumber. Like, think of it this way, right? It's like zombie stuff, right? You see a zombie movie, and everyone's like, "What's happening?" In the real world, people have an idea of these kinds of situations because of movies and TV shows.
Well, like the biggest zombie like franchise, The Walking Dead, like there is no movies about zombies in The Walking Dead. Like they have never, like it's not a thing that existed in their universe. They don't know about it.
Yeah, it's that sure. I'm not complaining about The Walking Dead.
They
At
wouldn't
least
know
not
about
the
some
earlier
alien
seasons.
that can't make noise. They would probably have an idea of how to survive an apocalypse, but that's a different type of apocalypse where you can't even make noise.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
Like, zombies are one thing, and even hell, I'll take the sprinter zombies.
Actually, a lot of times zombies
over
have
these
the noise
fuckers.
thing too, but they're just a lot easier. You know, you can just put a fence up or something and they can't get past it.
Yeah, because they're like
Yeah, they
dumber.
don't have the insane agility.
Yeah.
Unless they're World War Z zombies.
That's true.
Oh yeah, those ones are crazy. They can form into a wave.
Oh, man.
But even then, like, the threshold for noise is a lot higher in zombies than those things.
That's definitely
Yeah,
true.
definitely.
like those ones. If you drop a pin or pen, you're dead.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
If there's one in the room with you.
Yeah,
Definitely if there's one in the room, yeah. Definitely.
Hell, even in the same building, it's like in the same house.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Compared to the other two, though, like as somebody that's seen those
It's
ones,
worse.
yeah, I think it might be the weakest of the three. Because I think the second one probably my favorite.
I think they should have.
What do you
I don't
think,
actually
Bert?
remember the second one entirely. I remember like everything important.
I think they just should
Yeah.
have leaned into the like actual battle, just shown them like dogs shitting on the military and stuff.
That would have been cool, especially with the other two movies to support
Yeah,
the future
I feel like-
events.
yeah, I feel like that's just not what these are, though. Like they're more singular focused. You know, they don't really. None of them really focus on
Yeah.
the main whole
You talk
other
about
world
the story
going
or
on.
person.
Yeah, it's all about the individual person. But yeah. What else can we talk about for this? Do you guys want to do final scores?
Well, we could talk about the other guy, whatever his name was. We haven't really
Eric?
talked about him.
The British boy.
Yeah.
He
his
is
name is
okay.
Eric.
I mean,
Joseph Quinn, the new Human Torch.
I'm trying to think of
Yeah.
like anything I don't think he did anything that bad. I don't understand why he would follow her after she said she was like going deeper into the city, but whatever. Not that big a deal, I guess.
Because he didn't have any family or anything, or like know anywhere to go. Like they told him, or she told him about the water thing, but I don't think he believed that he could survive on his own going there. So that's kind of why.
I think he said he couldn't.
Yeah, I think later on he does say that. And he knew because he has like those panic attacks where he just freaks out. So I think being with somebody else kind of relaxed him. That's kind of why
just
he
found
stuck
the first
around.
person that was nice to him and followed them around.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like the lost puppy thing. They just follow you.
I mean, like I said, I didn't like it, but I don't think it's dog shit. I just think it's not for me.
That's fair. Yeah, I can understand
I
that.
agree. It's fair.
Yeah. Other than that, though, he really didn't do much else. Like, he had his little arc of how he eventually kind of like got over his panic attacks and stuff to an extent. Like, he ended up needing the cat, which was kind of cool, I guess.
I think it'd be so freaking cool. Think about it. They focus on, like I said, the military or whatever, but you see the whole thing from the perspective of the cat. And the cat just going around the city and watching these things happening. And, like, it's basically just an excuse to show
That could have
badass
been cool.
scenes.
They should have.
That would have been a cool scene, actually.
Yeah, you could do like a 5-minute montage of that. Just the cat running through the chaos.
That would be so freaking cool.
Especially because they even showed that cats would be probably okay.
Basically
Oh, a cat
invincible.
would
As
definitely
long as
be
you don't put
okay.
a bell on them. Imagine if you put a bell on your cat.
Oh,
Going
yeah.
Or if it
piece of
just
shit
has
right
any
now, aren't you?
tags, like it's dead.
Yeah.
A little...
No, but that cat
was crazy
survived
though
everything.
because not that I like.
And that cat got some people killed.
That cat should have got them killed a few times, like those water situations where they nearly drowned the cat, and it was just like, whatever, I don't care.
That cat survived underwater for like a minute. If not more. Like,
Yeah.
that thing was in there for a while.
Built to.
That's literally the best
Yeah.
behaved cat in the world.
Yeah, props to
And
that.
it kept coming back, too.
Props for the actor cat.
That's the
Honestly.
most unbelievable thing. The fact that that cat kept coming back.
The fact that the cat responded so calmly with water is unrealistic.
Yeah. That cat was built diff.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was a service cat. It was just behaving
I mean, I
better.
guess, but
Oh, I forgot it was
Jesus.
a service cat, actually. Yeah, I guess that is the explanation. Not that it's a good one, but
I don't know. That's weird to me. Every cat I've experienced, even the cat that we have, like, I do not think he would hang around for that. He
well,
would not come back. He would just go off and survive.
well, also just any cat that gets waterboarded for a minute straight is not going to be quiet.
Oh yeah, that too. That too. Our cat
It would
would
be
die.
coughing. At
Our
least.
cat would die though once it got hungry because it would start meowing.
Classic.
Classic cats.
But basically, the whole movie is just go get pizza, and then guy jumps off bridge.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could make
pretty
a
much.
really funny
It's pizza time.
what's it called? Like the literal trailer or the literal explanation videos, you know, of movies.
Oh yeah, totally
Yeah.
realistic trailer, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, girl
Cancer
goes-
girl wants pizza.
Yeah, adventures through New York City to find a pizza.
Brings cat.
Yeah. That would be funny. Okay. Final scores. Are we ready for that? I don't really have anything
One
else
thing I
to
do
say
wanna
about that
say-
guy.
I did kind of like how we were following a cancer patient, like knowing that they were gonna die, because it was just kind of cool to, like, I don't know, like a closed story.
Yeah, and it gives her more freedom to kind of just be rebellious and like
Yeah,
dangerous.
make
'cause
dumb
she's-
decisions and
Yeah, she doesn't really care,
be
even though she
impulsive.
probably doesn't really make any dumb decisions. I mean,
chasing her cat. I think
yeah,
is pretty
chasing the
stupid.
cat kind of dumb, but maybe that's just like a natural instinct. You might want to try and chase your dog.
I mean, I could. Yeah, I guess.
I would probably my dog would probably die pretty quick.
My problem with that
I'm being
is,
honest. The first alien he sees.
I understand her wanting to chase her cat, but her chasing her cat after they told her to be quiet when she was like in a building full of people, like, you're really gonna get everyone killed for your cat instead of just yourself.
That might be the worst one. That might be the worst one.
Yeah, kind of a selfish move.
Yeah.
And the cat wasn't even in danger the whole time.
Yeah. Till it hit that bell.
It still wasn't in danger. They were. He wasn't.
Oh, true. Yeah, he just scurried away. Or he could have.
That cat had plot armor.
Oh, yeah, it
The cat was
definitely
a
did.
hero. The cat was cool to watch, actually.
That cat had the craziest plot armor.
It did.
It literally went to the nest of the aliens and just chilled and watched.
Just
But
vibing.
also, having the cat gives the carrier plot armor. See how as soon as
Kind
she
of
lost
true,
the
yeah.
cat, she died.
You're right. The cat is the secret
The
weapon.
cat is
Whoever
the
had
armor.
the cat was
True.
safe. Yeah. The cat is the armor.
It has a sound canceling effect around you.
Yeah.
All right, overall, Bert.
I would say like a 4.5.
Really, I thought you'd be in like the 6
4.5?
range.
Jeez.
No.
That means it's
thought
like
it
a
was-
bad movie. Like a bad movie. That's
okay,
below
I'd say
average.
5.
Yeah, I think it's a
I'd say
straight 5.
I'm probably going to agree. I think it's a 5. I might be able to convince myself that it's a 6 if you give me long enough, but I'd probably say it's a 5.
I could see 6, 7 if you're specifically a fan of these movies.
Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, but of the three, it's probably not. It's probably the worst one of the three, in my opinion.
The other two are so much better in comparison.
You should have seen Inside Out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do want to see Inside Out.
I freaking love the first Inside Out movie. That's like the only new gen Pixar movie that's good. Unless you count, I don't know. Depends when you count the new gen, because Big Hero 6 is pretty fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My
Maybe we'll
parents
see
watched it
Inside
recently.
Out before the next app comes out. Try and do that. But
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah. All right, what else do we got? What's everybody been up to? Bert, what have you been up to? Anything interesting?
Half-Life still.
I think I said this, but I finished my class, so now I'm working, and we'll slowly get ready to go back to school.
Did you finish Half-Life?
No, I haven't had time to play.
Have you played anything?
No, I've been working this whole week.
That's tough. I mean, it's only Monday,
It is.
so that's not a very long week.
Well, the previous.
Today's
between
Monday?
Between the previous
Today's
recording
Tuesday.
and now.
Oh yeah, today's Tuesday. I over this summer, in this time that he's been gone and we've been doing non-in-time videos, I finally, after like 9 years, played and beat Fallout 4. And here's the thing with Fallout 4. The first 30 minutes suck ass, then it's really fun for 20 hours, then the last 5 hours suck ass. Which is really annoying because I was like, I'm not really having that much fun, but you never have fun at the beginning because it's so on rails. Then it opens up and I was like, fuck yeah, this rocks. Oh my god, though, I've never beaten Fallout 4 before. I did not realize how terrible it gets at the end. Like, you just get so aggressively funneled into doing specifically what they want you to do at the end.
That is
Yeah,
annoying.
that does happen depending on
Just
the path
kills
you
all of your
pick.
freedom.
Yeah, there's like no choice. The choice is like between the factions, but there's no, like, you don't get to choose how you do anything, you know? And it's like, I'm cool with all these guys. Why can I not do something? It's just, it's so
Neutral.
annoying. I hated it.
I get it.
Really pissed me
Yeah.
off, that ending. And what sucks is that apparently the best part of Fallout 4 is Far Harbor, but the ending of the game made me be like, wow, I'm having such like a small amount of fun. I cannot play anymore, and I didn't do Far Harbor, but I did do Automaton, and that was decent.
Isn't Nuka World in that one too?
I didn't do Nuka World either. The two big ones I didn't do.
Apparently Nuka World was alright too.
Yeah.
I never played those either though.
So, Fallout 4, pretty good if you ignore the last, like, 2 to 5 hours of main quest.
No, guess that's good.
So pretty much.
It got so goddamn bad. Like, I was at the point where I was like, I gotta throw a fucking vid on the side. Like, I cannot focus on this game. It's so dog shit.
That's brutal.
And then they went and did their anniversary update thing and increased my load times, and my crashes were like increased exponentially too. Everything just went to
Actually heard
shit
that
when they updated the game.
the
My
update-
game would crash on startup. I started having audio bugs. My loading screens were like 5 minutes. I had to download a mod to fix my loading screens after they updated it, so then I couldn't get achievements anymore.
Classic Bethesda. It just works.
It just
It
works.
sucks because I really,
works.
really liked it. The whole middle section was really good. Basically, once you get to the Institute, the game sucks.
Institute is like not even halfway.
Yeah,
Like you
but
can get there pretty
you
quick.
can do like a lot of stuff without doing Institute stuff. Like you can
Yeah,
do all
you
the
can. You don't have
Brotherhood,
to
all
fully-
the. As soon as you start doing the Institute stuff, you get funneled, and you no longer have a choice in anything. You either have to do this or that, and there's no like way around it.
The game's on the rails.
Yeah.
That does stink.
Yeah.
So that's what I
All
did.
right, well.
It sucks. I hate it.
What am I up to? I just got back like a week ago, so not too much. I'm on my bi-yearly Pokemon phase, so doing that. Sure it'll fade in a week or so.
I haven't played Pokemon in so long.
I do it in spurts. Like, I won't play anything for a few years, and then I'll play through 2 or 3 of the games because they're super easy, and then I won't play it again for another 3 years.
I need to find something to play now. I'm not playing anything right now.
Should try Half-Life.
I've played Half-Life.
Oh. Pretty good.
We can all play Minecraft.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
We should
that.
play Minecraft soon.
One of these days.
Yeah. We'll talk about it on here. All
That
right,
could
well,
be cool. We can do like updates on the world.
yeah.
Think it's time to wrap it up, boys.
Yep, I think
Yeah,
that's
I
pretty
could do
much
that
it.
news section.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Out of here.
All right. Well, see everybody next time.
Keep it salty.